Welcome back, guys, to Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations, where last episode we got Kay off the hook after arguing with Shi-Long, finding out more about the murder weapon as we learned the blade had come from the other embassy, leading us to gain access to the other side, as we now examine the Allebahstian Ambassador's office. Whoa. What do you think you're doing to my subordinate? Whoa! You broke him! You're... Oh no! Edgy! Oh, thank the heavens you're here! I'm in a really big pickle, your lordship! The raven, it appeared, poof! And then disappeared, swoosh! And though I am the steel samurai, my sword, it... Wow, I'm so confused, I don't know what anything means anymore! Who is this fruitcake? I'm Larry of the House of Butts, married man of New Oldie Tokyo, my lady. Now I remember. This person is one of your friends, isn't he, Miles? Yes, frighteningly enough, he is. Hey, what's up with that answer? Your best bud is in a bind yet, like it's no big deal. What sort of bind are we talking about here? A suspect kind. I accidentally became a suspect in a murder! I see. That is quite the bind. Not that we're in the least bit surprised. Yes, I pretty much expected this news. From the instant I saw this unlucky face. His name is Larry Butts. I've known him since grade school, and for as long as I've known him, he has been the world's largest source of trouble with a capital T. Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy. If you're not careful, you might find your tiny number of friends go down by one. That was uncalled for. Besides, you're... Wait, hold on. Larry? It was you? You're the one who wrote my Steel Samurai autograph? Huh? Oh, you didn't notice earlier? I even winked at you through my headpiece. What's going on? And why are you beat red? Sorry, but could you not speak to me right now? Oh, sorry, am I interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play? Aha! So this is the incident you mentioned earlier. Mr. Prosecutor, this man, this childhood friend of yours, is our prime suspect. Of what, you ask? Of the murder of a man who had snuck into this embassy. Mask DeMasque 2! Mask DeMasque 2? Only Larry could get himself into yet another mess as fine as this. No matter what the facts seem to say, Larry is not the type to commit murder. Still, it's a rather daunting stroke of misfortune I've struck. I have to prove that Larry Butts is innocent of all wrongdoing. I know, you have to find out the truth. If Larry has done it... Sifu, we've identified the victim! Good work. I'll take that report now. Agent Lang, would you mind if I took a peek at it as well? What did I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way. There's only enough flesh here to feed one wolf, and that one is me. So no, you may not take a peek. But Agent Lang! Hey! Be a bit older now, I guess. Agent Lang. Will you allow an investigator such as myself to take a look? Yeah, of course. You let a detective see the file. You're Detective Bad. You're the prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth, right? How's he meeting you here, Detective? You weren't expecting me? Ever since that day, 7 years ago, I've chased after the Yadagrasu, non-stop. I even pressured Interpol into keeping me in the loop in case a card was ever found. What incredible dedication to the case. Detective Bad knows the Yadagrasu's MO very well, and his passion for the chase hasn't died down these 7 long years. It's something I can respect. But Detective Bad, I must ask, are you going to make an ally out of this prosecutor? My only goal is to arrest the Yadagrasu. If you can get to the bottom of this case, then I'm willing to share info with him. I'm in your debt, Detective Bad. Tell me about the initial investigation. About the murder of DeMasque 2. Would you be willing to fill me on a few of the details? When the other Grasu showed up, Agent Lang and I took ourselves off guard duty. And put ourselves in charge of directing things at this crime scene. Taking advantage of the chaos, DeMasque 2, he broke into this embassy. Probably to steal some treasure or another. And I suppose he lost his life when he was forced to fight someone else in this room. Interesting. 2 dead bodies. 2 different places. Identical places in a sense. Why exactly was that man placed under arrest, Detective? That's Samurai? He was born looking suspicious, but not for the reasons you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he is completely harmless. Well, it was just a random guess. It's not like he's actually under arrest. Tonight, here at the Allebahstian Embassy, Ambassador Alba was to give a commemorative speech. And that's when the Yadagarasu showed. But keep in mind, the Yadagarasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. Those seats for the guests who had been called to sit in them were empty. The no-show? Who was it that failed to take their seat? The Steel Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of the entire Steel Samurai family was to wait in a separate room. However, for some weird reason, that man was spotted in a different location than his assigned room at that time. And where was he? He was on the roof with one of his legs down a chimney. What? Larry! That chimney leads directly into this room. His samurai claws. Ah! Larry Butts, you've really outdone yourself this time. What were you thinking? In any case, I believe it's high time for me to start my investigation. Really? You want to start an investigation now? Well, let's speak to this idiot. Larry, there are a few things I need to ask you about. Hey, how about that? I've got a few things I've got to ask you too. What is it? It's like both you and him. How is it that the two of you always manage to have some cute or hot girl by your side? And Francie, what about that promise you made to me? A promise? What promise? The one where you said you would model for my next book, Francie's Whippity Whip Trip. No! I made no such promise. Ever since grade school, we've had a certain saying about Larry. When something smells, it's usually the butts. One needs to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers. Technically, though, does the trouble follow Larry, or does the trouble follow you and Phoenix? It's a trio of troublemakers, really. Well, let's ask about the Steel Samurai. As I recall, aren't you calling yourself Loris Dunim now? That's Dunim. I don't know how to pronounce it. Well, nor does Edgy. It's just you made up a name. Pen name. That's Dunim. Loris Dunim. I said Dwanim. 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 Oh, yes, I am Loris Dwanim. That sounds good enough. I don't know. Just say Donim. I don't know. It's a name. It's not said out loud. I'm fine with saying it whichever way I want to. If it is somehow coincidentally someone who's watched his name, I apologise. Get that straight in your head, Edgy. Ow, 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 wow! Now I remember, you're that rude pale imitation of a real artist. No, you've got it all wrong. I gave up on that whole Larice business. Besides, when Bangelina left me in my heart in pieces. That's when Mindy walked into my life. She's been so good to me that I wanted to help her in some way. And I figured I could through the Steel Samurai outfit. Your inane blabbering makes less and less sense each time we meet. I believe he's saying that he picked up this part-time job as a Steel Samurai so that he may attempt to capture the heart of the actress who plays the Pink Princess. I said part-time job. If he's acting in a stage show in an embassy, in a neutral theatre, kind of like in this kind of special place for the embassy, he's got to be quite good at his job. And I'm not sure it's just part-time. You got it. I knew you'd know what I meant, Edgy. Not really. It's not so much as I understood, but a simple deduction based on your usual modus operandi, Larry. The time of the murder, Larry. Tell me more. Larry, I'd like you to confess confess right now to everything you did tonight. Confess? Hey, don't tell me you suspect me. Nonsense, I don't believe in the mental acuity needed to plan and execute a murder. However, we are talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. The past experience has taught me that you were always at the center of some insane event. Edgy? How can you be so mean? Stab me with your words like that. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time. So I suggest that you cooperate and tell me what you know. Okay, I get it. Just stop Fancy from whipping me from behind. So, I guess you know what it did, right, Edgy? I can't even begin to imagine. However, I imagine that whatever you were up to was probably beyond my imagination. So you will tell me what exactly you did, Larry. Nope, not yet, Edgy. It'll take more than that to loosen my lips. A lot more! Confess now. Okay, well, I was up on the roof. And why exactly were you up there? Oh, you know, that Wintry custom and the legendary hero? Legendary? Hero? Santa Claus! Wait, I was making a joke. Santa Claus? I want to do that thing he does, so I climbed up to one of the chimneys. When I got there was smoke pouring out of the chimney. Okay, that's good to know. Do you smell like it? And? Well, I couldn't go down the chimney with smoke coming up, right? So I gave up. Objection! Larry, you do realize that Santa Claus does not exist, right? Of course I know! I did graduate from junior high, you know. Then you should also understand this. If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawful trespasser in history. Ah, crud! It is your attempt to imitate Santa that has landed you as prime suspect in this murder. Edgeworth would arrest Santa Claus. And I would testify against him. That was... I'm scared of Santas. Come on, man. What's so wrong with pretending to be Santa? Let's start with the fact that it will be the Ides of March in a matter of hours. And Santa only visits homes on December 24th. That's in December, you nitwit. No! Hey, wait a sec. We're not in court. Yeah, we're not. Anything more to say? I guess not. Thanks for the information there. Crossbow! There's some weapons on display on this wall. A crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing a flower motif. They must be the counterparts of the Babylese knives, which means that the blades inside these scabbards should match the blade that was used to kill Mr. Cochin. Or more to the point, if there's 3 blades there, or if there's not a blade in the scabbard in one of them would happen. Or if there is 3 blades, one of them would be the blade from the other place. Surely. I wouldn't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Well, I gotta examine these myself, haven't I? Knives adorned with flowers are on display here. I suspect that these are the counterparts of the Babylese knives. The blades of these knives should match the blade of the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. What? One of the knives is missing its blade. Let's see if the 2 pieces, the blade and the handle, fit each other. I'm guessing, of course, they're supposed to normally. It would appear that they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly. And this means that an Allebahstian knife did find its way into a bowl. But how? Foreign exchange knife student? Why is there a weapon on display in a place like this? I wonder why there are no whips on display here. That's the important stuff, right? What's this? It's a steel samurai's primary weapon, the samurai spear. Isn't it awesome? I totally fell for this thing. It's sleek and shiny, just like my heart. It comes at you like whoosh. When you hold it, you just want to live life like BAM! You do well to watch what you say, Larry. Although it is just as Larry says, the spear is quite the symbol of valor. However, speaking of spears, aren't you supposed to use them by thrusting the point straight into your opponent? I'm not entirely convinced the spear is up to the task. What's wrong, Edgy? You're just staring off in the distance. Oh, I get it. Tell you what, I'll tell the studio to make you one, okay? But this one's mine. Did I say anything about wanting one? Maybe I can shut him up if I show him the piece of evidence that will point something out about this spear. What? I have that? What do you want me to say? It's a bit floppy. I don't actually know if there's anything about the spear as of yet. I probably wanted to check out the statue as well. So I'm supposed to deduce on the spear, but what am I supposed to do with the spear? I can spot absolutely no difference between this prime deck statue and Babal's. The statue's face looks a bit like that costume hero you like so very much. I only wonder why you Americans have such an affinity for this kind of face. The statue wasn't made by an American, you know. At least I don't suppose so. Also, samurai, Japanese, you know. So we got this over here. The counterpart to the Babalese butterfly is the Allebahstian flower. The butterfly and flower, they're both lovely things. But can we interpret this to mean that Allebahst provides honey to Babal? Can you come up with a more meaningful or profound comment? Very well then, let's hear what sort of profound comment you can come up with. Well, flowers cannot survive without the butterflies to spread their pollen. And butterflies cannot live without the nectar that flowers provide. If either one were to disappear from the equation, neither would survive. How was that, Miss Von Karma? Your explanation took so long that I nearly fell asleep. Well, let's continue the investigation. Francisca, why can't you just admit I had something there? Anything else to check? Let's check out the fire. It's a fireplace, and by the looks of it, I don't think it's been used recently. Yes, I can't say that I see anything unusual about it. What? Two gorgeous flowers in full bloom here. That's not what I was trying to check out. I'm sure flowers as lovely as these must have an equally as lovely name. Miles Edgeworth, are you done staring? I should hardly think passion flowers are all that rare. But passion flowers? That's a rather unusual name. It was named by priests in the 15th century for the Passion of Christ. As I say, you learn something new every day. Right, we've got passion flowers. I was looking more at the birds above of the place. Anything else? Oh, this is important. The person shaking hands with the still samurai in this picture is Ambassador Alba. It was taken just before the murder. The steel samurai must be very popular. They're even using the national treasure as a backdrop. I just don't understand what exactly is so great about Top not there. Clearly there is a depth to this show that a young person like you can't fathom. Speaking of young people, aren't young children the target audience of this show of costumed actors? Got you there. Also, is the statue facing a different direction? The statue looked to be in... Well, it must be facing the door then. Towards the... I gotta see that picture again. Oh, well, I just got it in the thing. Yeah, the statue's facing a different direction. Interesting. I guess I should look at the dead guy, but it's kind of hard to press examine on him. So this is the victim, DeMasque the second. What is with his gaudy outfit? You don't know about Mask DeMasque. A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc on the populace. So this thief is separate from the Atagrasu? I thought they were for a while, because their MO and targets were different. DeMasque likes high-value trinkets and jewels, and being gaudy is his signature. Gumshoe was in charge of that investigation, so we know more about DeMasque. That's alright. All I probably hear are tales of his failure anyway. You haven't changed a bit, I see. In any case, let's get started here, shall we? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Of course. What's that in your hand, sir? What is he holding? It looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. Ooh. It would appear that directions on how to reach this room were written by hand. There is something written on the back as well. I'd like you to steal the Primadex statue in this room. What is that supposed to mean? Who writes a note to themselves like that? If I had to guess from the text, I would say this is actually a request from someone about what to steal. Just who is the person who requested the theft of the Primadex statue? The Mask Toon's note has been added to the organizer. She's been stabbed with a samurai sword. So this is the murder weapon in this case. There's blood on the blade. It's a rather sweeping sword, isn't it? What did you expect? His steel samurai daddy's secondary weapon. Is he now just... What, he just had a kid, now he's like, he has an extra bit added to his name now. Is that the thing? This is his title. Steel Samurai Daddy's secondary weapon, sure. I'm not going to get used to that name. Can we just call him Steel Samurai? He's a dad, sure, but whatever. I only call it his secondary because although he uses his sword in most of his battles, it's his trusty samurai spear that he turns to in a real fight. You sure know quite a bit about the Steel Samurai. That's only because I saw the stage show earlier. The owner of this sword is the Steel Samurai, or in other words, Larry. I should probably ask him about it, as detrimental as it is to proving him innocent. Will they give him an actual real sword? No props here then. I suppose this was the wrapping cloth DeMasque 2 used to carry his stolen goods. But there's nothing wrapped in it now. I guess he never did manage to get his hands on whatever it was he set out to steal. Maybe not. There's not a single shred of fashion sense in DeMasque's costume. Well, at least I can appreciate the great effort he must have put into making it. You two don't know. You can buy this costume almost anywhere now. It's being sold. Since when? Since around New Year's. The streets are practically flooded with them. Turns out DeMasque is a lot more popular than I thought he'd be. I can't believe that foolish fool would dress in fool's clothing to act foolishly. What's your point about free foolishes back, Francisca? Right, head wound? I thought that DeMasque had quit the business. This guy, he's just a copycat using the name. A phony successor. He's just another petty thief. His real identity is an out-of-work guy by the name of Kashinu. He's 29 and wanted on larceny charges. From his clothes and what he was carrying, we determined this guy is the real DeMasque too. The cause of death appears to be the loss of blood from the back of his head. It seems that he was struck with something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death. I guess it's not a sharp sword then, but more of a bludgeony sword. Fun death. There was the exact same statue sitting in that Babalese office we examined. It's the Prime statue. It was the national treasure of the Principality of Codopia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. Both Allebahstian and Babal claim to have the real thing. What an incredibly childish fight to have. Right then, Allebahstian Prime statue data jotted down in my organizer. For at present, I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. There's suspicious stuff here, is there? Can I deduce that it's looking the completely wrong way? It's a Prime statue. There was one of these on the Babalese side as well. I hear it's very valuable and made of pure gold. It was a national treasure of Codopia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. But both Allebahstian and Babal came to have the real thing and won't budge from their claim. What an incredibly childish fight to have. Alright, let's give this a go then. It's definitely been turned around. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? It's just the whole statue. We've got to find out what to do on the other wall as well, to be honest. Eureka! Look at this photo and tell me what you find of odd about the scene, Miss Von Karma. The apparent draw on the ambassador's face as he shakes the top knot's hand. That's not it. I was trying to point out that the statue in the photo is facing a different way. You're right. This statue is a national treasure. As such, only an ambassador or secretariat level person is allowed to handle it. The fact that the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now is facing a different direction in this preserved crime scene, is proof that someone touched this statue around the time of the crime. Allebahstian Prime statue data has been updated. That's all the information I can get out of that then, I take it. Right, so that's been moved around. So, Steel Samurai information I have. The only thing linked is this so far. That's a really bad drawing of Steel Samurai, but really good drawing of a spear. However, his weapon looks a bit different. Either like it's broken, chipped, or something else. Is that what I'm deducing? It's bent. Oops, wrong bit. No, there's no contradiction here. I just accidentally pressed the wrong button. I need to do this. I'm pretty sure. Is this what's somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? I'm assuming his spear's got a bit of a dysfunction going on. Let's put it that way. Don't want to shame it or anything. Larry, about this spear. Oh, are you feeling it? Bam! I thought there was something strange about the spear. Tell me, Larry, is it just me or is the spear a bit bent? What? No way! Sally should be, yo! I have here the autograph you wrote for me earlier. Now take a good look at this which you drew with your own hands. Indeed, it's a very good spear. You can see that the spear is clearly of a different shape. Ah! What do you have to say to that? I'm sorry! When I hold the spear in my hands, all of a sudden I feel super powerful. And then, during practice, I was spinning it around and around. And bam, it hit the wall! You're unbelievable. This is an embassy. But I've always been like that. Ever since I was a kid. One time on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late that night. I'm just a useless hot-blooded man! Larry, clarify that for me, will you? Okay, so it was some field trip, and I began to shadow fight myself. Not that! I meant what you said earlier about spinning the spear and hitting the wall. Oh, that! It's no biggie. It's not like I left a hole or anything. That's not what I'm asking, Larry. The samurai spear is made of metal. I somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it around would cause it to bend. Man, Edgy, you're so naive! What? Where did that come from? Why do you keep calling it a samurai spear? But it's not real. You can't really fight someone with it. Because it's hollow on the inside. Same about the sword. You could hit it against practically anything and it would bend. Is that so? Don't tell me you thought it was real. Oh, but don't take it the wrong way. I just think that part of your personality is cute. I see. Your friendship truly is something special, Miles Edgeworth. Ah! That's not friendship. It's utter humiliation. The samurai spear has been added to my organizer for some reason. I guess that about wraps up my investigation. That's... Yo, Pink Princess! How you feeling? Still feeling ill? And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork. And so the Pink Princess also comes to pay the Allebahstian Embassy a visit. I believe I may need to speak with her as well. Okay, let's speak to you. Miss Pink Princess, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. Miss Pink Princess, if you would please answer... Me! Run!
This must be what they call fate.
How did this happen 2 days in a row? What the? Aren't you Miss Oldbag? Why are you so surprised?
Ah, so you're the one they got to play the Steel Samurai. It's too bad I didn't realize that until now.
You are acquaintances with Larry?
Why, yes, we worked at the same company for a little while, you know. That's why it's okay, my edgy poo. You don't need to be jealous.
Ah!
I was in the next room, you know, trying to get in some beauty sleep. But it was so noisy here that I couldn't fall asleep. So I came over to complain. So I imagined my shock when I saw my precious edgy poo waiting here for me. I mean, who could imagine that you would ever come to a show like this? I guess I've misjudged you, edgy poo. You misjudged him? I thought he was trying to avoid me, you know.
That was no misjudgment on your part. That's precisely what I was trying to do.
But it looks like the winds have shifted and he's now willing to be chased after. I'm simply overwhelmed. Don't you worry, Edgy Poo. I'll chase you forever to the ends of the earth. Isn't that just peachy?
This is one of those rare times when Francisco and I actually see eye to eye. Great. So we have the smelly butts. And now we have Miss Oldbag too. If there's got to be costumed characters, I guess they got to be filled up by someone we know. It seems to be her professional job to appear wherever we are. Let's escape for now and talk to Miss Oldbag next time on Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Investigations. I'm holding my hand on my head in pain. Here we go again. Not one, but two. Tune in next time for more, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.